Guess what? It's part two of LA stories. Real story time with your boy Art Will. Oh shit. Things wasn't going so good with me and Vicky, after that whole Magdalena shit. So I went to Seattle, kicked it, went back down to LA. Vicky had moved from Torrance to Inglewood. So I kicked it there. But then I had to go back to Texas. And then from Texas I went back to spend Christmas with my family in Cincinnati, which was cool. So we go back to Texas. My sister Judy wants me to stay so I can babysit my niece Julski and shit. I was like, no, I gotta get back to Vicky. Vicky was like, we need to stall it out. I was like, we ain't stalling nothing out. About to respark this love. And so I go back there on a Greyhound bus. I meet this guy from Compton named Seal. Seal from Compton. If you see this Seal, you probably won't this shit, but maybe you might. Who knows? So I meet this guy. We're chopping it up, and he was like, "Who's picking you up from the bus station?" I said, "Shit, nobody." He was like, "Well, you gonna ride with me, my girl? She got the dippers, she got the Hennessy, she got everything." And so, jump in the car, riding with Seal. We just ride through. This motherfucker's like, he. I didn't know at the time he was like official gangbanger, official. And so we're driving. His girl was like, I'm in the back seat. This girl was like, "What? There's cops. Take your hat off," because he had a beanie on. It was something. No, it was winter and shit. It was January and shit. End of January, January 29th, some shit. And so he rips it off. Look, he gets cool. Hello, officer. Type shit. And so we're riding around. We go drinking Hennessy and E&J, smoking weed. Go over to Vicky's house. I was like, man, go on and take me over there. Let her know I'm back in the town. So I get over there and I'm knocking on the door. She doesn't answer the door, but she's inside. She was like, "Oh, I know a nigga ain't came over to my house without calling first." I was like, open the door. Open the door. I got all my shit. You know what I'm saying? She don't open the door. Seal was like, "Man, you can come back and crash here with us." I think he lived in Long Beach or some shit. He was like, "We're in Inglewood." And I can't believe you got me over here with all these slobs type shit. And so I was like, "Nah, I'm gonna stay here." So I'm knocking on the door. She don't answer the door. Got all my shit. Got my drum machine, my HR-16B. Got my drum machine. Throw rocks at the window. I throw the drum machine at the window. Window shatters. Like, oh no. The girls are looking out the window at me like, oh shit. And then I just stand there. Next thing I know, Inglewood PD comes. Inglewood PD comes, you know, she comes out like, yeah, take the motherfucker out, my kids in there. And she's doing all the Tasmanian bitch talk shit. But I did break the window, so she had a right to do that. I was totally in the wrong. And so they cuffed me up, take me to jail. Seal was still there. He grabbed my shit. Like, man, never gonna see that shit again. And so I'm in jail in Inglewood. And then the public defender comes the next day. They say, man, you're 19. As a lady, you're 19. You don't have a record. You'll probably be out in the morning. Time served. Went to court. They said 5 days, LA County. Cloak. And then I looked at the public defender like, and motherfuckers type shit. And so they put us on the bus and we go down to LA County. I've never seen any shit like this in my life. It was niggas everywhere. When I say niggas, I just mean everybody. You know what I'm saying? Hella Mexicans, more Mexicans than anything, I think. But it's like they're herding us in like cattle to go get slaughtered. And they're they're spraying you off with a water hose and doing weird shit in there. Never seen anything like this. Never experienced anything like this in my life. And so it's a recording over the intercom system. Like, do you want to talk to somebody? And so I got in there. I was like, yes, I like to talk to somebody about this shit, please. And so the lady was like, well, I don't think you want to talk to nobody. I said, but I do. She says they're gonna take you upstairs and strap you to a bed. I was like, I just need to talk to somebody. I'm not supposed to be here. She says, okay. So they take me in there and they take me up to a bed and like strap my arms and my legs into this bed. I'm like, the fuck is going on? They make me put on a big ass diaper, right? It's like I'm in that motherfucker like a big ass baby Huey because I was young and slim and buff, but I'm buff then with a diaper on, feeling feeling terrible. And so they would bring you food and shit, and then they would strap one of your arms so you could eat that bullshit. Like, this ain't delicious. And so, and so one day, and I was up there for days, but one day it was like, yeah, you get to come down, and I was like, oh shit, I'm about to get out. And they said you got a case in Torrance. It was the traffic ticket that I ripped up. So I went to Torrance, and they're like, time served type shit. And so they took me back to LA County, and I was like, I'm getting out. And motherfuckers like, you ain't getting out. They're about to take you back upstairs. And then it was like a big ass hallway. It was mass niggas on one side and bars, like this dude had on a red shirt. And you might know this shit. It'd be like, I'm a dick. My life sucks because my best friends are nuts. I live next door to an asshole, like some jokey shit. This nigga came up to this nigga. It was like, oh, you a slob? You a slob? It was like, no. He was like, take that shirt off, then take it off. So the nigga took his shirt off and shit. And then he was like, man, they're tripping. I was like, man, don't even talk to me. And then I hear some shit because it's like a hallway. It's a whole jail hallway. Mass motherfuckers on this side with bars. There's some bitches on that side. Then I hear Grande Benito, Grande Benito. And I was like, damn, I think one of them Mexican bitches know me. And then the dude tells me, he's like, those ain't bitches. Those is niggas that dress like bitches. I was like, huh? And then I had a flashback of the legendary back whack. I was like, what, what the fuck was I into? But I didn't say nothing. I didn't say nothing. So I go back up there. They strapped me down to the stupid ass bed again. The psychiatrist comes and he was like, why are you even up here? I said, because I want to talk to somebody. So they let me out of jail. I'm out of jail. LA. Nowhere to go. Went to the place that I knew. Air Vicky's house. It was maybe Centinela Park. I think that was the name of it. Slept in there one night, you know. Me and Vicky talked. She said, well, you can't come back here because they said they'll evict me if you come back here. So I was like, oh. But I remembered this phone number from TV. It was called the Covenant House, where runaway teens go. So I went there, called my sister in Texas. I was like, oh, I didn't think I done fucked up. You ever knew where you fucked up? And she said, somebody named Seal called you from Compton. I was like, oh, give me his number. So I called him, and he was like, yeah, that bitch was tripping. He said, I got all your shit. I'll bring it to you. So he brought all my shit to me. Still had all my shit, drum machine and all. And so I'm at the Covenant House chilling, Sunset in Serrano, West Hollywood. Down there, I was down there for, 2, 3 weeks hanging out. Met some all right people. Nigga stole my drum machine. He was like, I can't remember this nigga's name, but he was like, yeah, I thought he was cool. He was like, come on, let's go up to the park. I said, oh yeah, I like kicking it at the park. We went up to Griffin Park This motherfucker soon as went up there, he stretched out on the lawn, on the grass, like chilling, taking a slumber. I was like, I was sleeping grass, nigga. Anyway, he ended up stealing my drum machine, stole my social security number and my ID, and a picture of my niece. For what? All right, nigga. And so I'm down there kicking it with these people and shit, the runaway teens. This is right around when Tyson got knocked out by Buster Douglas. And the one motherfucker comes back. He was down there fucking around with the Mexicans. He comes back up from Pico. I was like, damn, what happened to you? It looked like Red from Friday type shit. He was like, man, those Mexicans, they got me down there, and I think we need to go back and get them. I was like, but they're probably gone right now. You understand? You know, they left. He's like, no, they always be there. I don't know what this nigga did. I don't know why he got his eye swollen. I'm like, I'm not. We're not running together. You know what I'm saying? I'm not in. I already tried to get back whacked into a gang. Like I'm not going to get beat up to be in this next game. So I called my Sam and I said, my Sam, I need to be on my way. She said, come on, baby. And then, a few days later, back in Seattle.